The day I stood up to a bully. Julian sat by the old willow tree, his charcoal pencil dancing across the page. The community garden was his sanctuary, a place where the only sounds were the rustle of leaves and the distant hum of bees. He was working on a sketch of a robin, trying to capture the exact curve of its chest. The piece was shattered by a heavy footfall. Thorn lived 3 houses down and was known for carrying a storm in his pockets. He didn't enjoy the garden for the flowers. He enjoyed it because it was where he could find people to bother. He marched across the grass, his eyes fixed on Julian. Without saying a word, Thorn reached down and snatched the sketchbook right out of Julian's lap. The paper rustled like dry leaves, and the sudden movement made Julian's heart leap into his throat. Julian looked up, his face pale with shock. Thorn flipped through the pages with a mocking grin. He didn't look at the art with wonder. He looked at it for weaknesses. Flowers and birds? Thorn laughed, his voice loud and jarring in the quiet garden. What a total waste of time. Julian felt a hot sting in his eyes. He wanted to jump up and run home, to hide in his room where it was safe. But his drawings, the robin, the willow, the secret map of the garden, were still in Thorn's large, rough hands. He couldn't leave them behind. Julian took a deep breath, feeling the cool garden air fill his lungs. He wasn't as tall as Thorn, and he wasn't as strong, but he planted his feet firmly in the soft soil. He stepped forward until he was standing right in front of the older boy. "That belongs to me, Thorn," Julian said. His voice was much quieter than Thorn's had been, but it didn't shake. He didn't yell, and he didn't cry. He simply spoke the truth. "It is my work, and I would like it back right now." Thorn froze. He was used to other children shouting back or bursting into tears, which only made him feel more powerful. But Julian's steady gaze and quiet demand were things he didn't know how to fight. The mocking grin faded from his face. Julian didn't reach for the book with anger. Instead, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a spare pencil. He held it out toward Thorn. "If you're bored, I can show you how to draw the willow," Julian offered. "It's harder than it looks." The storm in Thorn's eyes finally cleared. He handed the book back to Julian, his movements slow and careful. The 2 boys sat down in the shade of the willow tree. They weren't best friends, and they didn't talk much, but the